Hi, this is my first ever video, and you would think that setting up a camera and talking to it would be the easiest thing in the world, but apparently not. So, hi, my name's Ayesha. In Arabic, that means she who lives, and I like to think that I live up to my name. I think when it comes to experiencing the fabric of existence and life, I feel very deeply about things. On my daily commute, I pass by the Harbor Bridge. I live in Sydney, and it still makes me feel deeply emotional, even though I've been here for almost a decade. So that's actually why I started making videos, because I feel like there has to be a different way of existing than what is now. Like, this cannot be all that there is to life, right? So there's a psychological bias called functional fixedness, which is this idea that objects don't live beyond the assigned function that you give them. So, for example, an example of humanity bypassing functional fixedness would be heater lights. So there are these types of lights that are so bright that they emanate heat, but they can also be used, like I said, to heat up a room. And I feel like there are so many things that exist beyond the scope which we give them, and we don't really know until we manifest them into existence. Yes, I use the word manifest, and I mean that term literally. Sometimes when you think of an idea, you don't actually know how it exists in relation to other things in your life until it's there and until it actually demonstrates those relationships. So sometimes the first step to manifesting creativity is actually doing the thing. So this is me doing the thing. So hello, hi. I don't know if this is gonna make sense, but I think it will as I create more data points and connect them. So hello. I said hello like 3 times, but again, I'm really excited to be talking to you guys, even if it's just a few of you to start with. I first learned about the term functional fixedness from this book called The Art of Exploitation. And if you're anywhere sort of within the vicinity of working in technology, or if you're just enthusiastic about cybersecurity, if I lost you there, please don't go. I will explain it. It's basically an introductory book that talks about the high levels of memory management. High levels of memory management. That's funny. And so it talks about things like buffer overflows and all those funny things. If you don't know what that is, it's completely fine. But cybersecurity is an interesting field because in order for you to know where systems can be exploited, you have to think about things differently than the way an average person would be using said system or product or ecosystem. And I think that's kind of where functional fixedness comes into play. You have to go beyond that and you have to think like, what is this thing? How can this thing exist beyond the assigned function which it has given, which has been collectively agreed upon by people? And sometimes that term really scares me because there are so many things. And when I say things, I don't mean just physical things. I mean processes and beliefs in my life that I feel like could be used differently. I was journaling the other day and I was reflecting on how sometimes there's a lot of emphasis put onto converting your weaknesses into positives, investing a disproportionate amount of energy into converting things that you might not be as great at into things you are good at. If you don't like admin, for example, forcing yourself to like admin. But the thing is, does that ever really work? I've realized that sometimes you actually have to just accept the fact that you might not be as great at something and just get better at it to a point where it's functional, but really hone in on the things that you're good at. And I'm still figuring that part out. I know that there are some things that are a given. I love talking to people, certified yapper. I love learning. I love being in front of a camera. And what don't I like as much? I don't like structure, but I thrive in it. So this is me attempting to give my life a purpose beyond which I believe it was given. Does that make sense? I'm trying to evade functional fixedness in the grand scheme of my life. So this is me doing that, and this is my first video, and I hope I can show you all of the music that I love, the way I see the world, just generally finding beauty in things that we experience every day. And I think the fabric of existence is infinite, and it's this 4D landscape that is beautifully connected to each other in a lattice form that we can't always see until we force ourselves to ask questions and doubt things. So this is me kind of trying to do that. So I don't know what this is going to look like, but I really hope that I find, and not just find, but shape forcefully what is meant for me. And if that means that there are people along the way who don't understand me, I think that's completely fine, because in the process of becoming who I am, I hope I find those who are right for me and who resonate with me. So yeah, thanks for watching this, and I love you, and let's question things together.